In this video, we will talk about what is the easiest pattern to solve Rubik's Cube. So make sure to watch the full video. The Rubik's Cube is quite legendary in the world of puzzles and brain teasers. It's like a cigarette in a genius's hand, often used to signify exceptional intelligence and prowess. If you ever gotten your hands on one of these toys, you probably played around with it for a while before realizing it was pretty much impossible to solve this thing even halfway through. Though many people think this game is only built for world-class detectives, that's far from the truth. Just as there's more than one way to skin a cat, there are multiple ways to solve a Rubik's Cube. In fact, there are beginner-friendly versions of the Rubik's Cube to help you build your grip around the harder ones. This article explains how to develop your puzzle-solving skills and how you can learn the easiest method to solve Rubik's Cube. No matter what kind of Rubik's Cube you're holding, we'll show you the best way to learn it quickly. Is it hard to solve the Rubik's Cube? Anyone who's tried to solve the Rubik's Cube knows it's not a piece of cake. Heck, even the very inventor of this toy, Rubik, admitted that it took him nearly a month to solve his own cube. The amount of focus, memory, and patience required to get through this puzzle isn't something most people can channel in their spare time. Does that mean it's impossible? No, not even close. You won't need to learn any complex logic patterns or algorithms to pull this off. All you have to do is take care of one cube face at a time. It means you pick one cube color you want to deal with first and then stick to it. Many amateurs assume they can solve all sides simultaneously, leaving them frustrated. Strategic thinking and procedures are required in many puzzles, and the Rubik's Cube is no exception. Once you've outlined the order of the colors you want to solve, it's simply a matter of understanding and following the solution. We'll talk more about understanding this mindbender, but before we get to that, we need to ensure you have what it takes to solve this cube without getting stuck. You'll need two things. First, an expert coach can show you the best and fastest techniques to solve this puzzle. Just hop over to SuperProf and hire a Rubik's Cube coach. They'll show you the easiest method to solve Rubik's Cube in less time and with much more confidence. Take the first step to becoming a puzzle master with SuperProf. What are the best Rubik's Cubes for beginners? Secondly, you'll need to practice with some of the easier versions of this cube before you play with the real one. Luckily, you can use several handy and engaging puzzles to pick up the necessary skills. They're not as challenging, but they'll still make you think back and forth. Let's take a look. Reedy Cube. The Reedy Cube is almost as beloved as the Rubik's Cube. It uses challenging techniques to solve it. It essentially consists of multiple pieces, all connected through different corners of the cube. The player has to flip through the edges of Reedy's cube until all the components align symmetrically. This cube has fewer pieces to work with, making it much easier to solve than the Rubik's Cube. Floppy Cube. A floppy cube is like 1/3 of a full Rubik's Cube. It's basically a flat single-layered puzzle built with 9 mini cubes divided through 3 sides. Each side can be turned to make different color combinations until all sides contain matching colors. The limited number of pieces makes the floppy cube much more understandable, as players can even solve this without trying in as little as 8 moves. Gearball. You might think that moving a Rubik's Cube logic to a spherical structure would only make the game harder, but the gearball is actually pretty simple. You're given 6 faces, each with 6 pieces. You just have to rotate the pieces in and out until all fronts contain pieces of the same color. This variation doesn't have as many layers as the Rubik's Cube, so the techniques required to get through this aren't as complicated either. Pyramix Duo. This variation might be the easiest of them all. The Pyramix Duo is another puzzle where the pieces are connected through the edges. Even if you have little to no experience with Rubik's Cubes, you can quickly solve a Pyramix Duo in just 4 moves. Ivy Cube. The Ivy Cube is a bit trickier than the ones we discussed above, but it's still an entertaining puzzle for beginners. Unlike the other cubes, this one only has one movable piece, the oval-shaped eye at the center. All you have to do is turn this piece across the 6 faces of the cube until each side of the eye aligns with the color of the face. The room for creative logic makes Ivy Cube a favorite in the puzzle world. How do you get to know your way around a Rubik's Cube? Learning a Rubik's Cube offers various benefits by enabling you to critically examine and experiment with several ways to solve it. Once you've messed around with the easier variations, you'll develop a solid mindset for solving a Rubik's Cube. As of today, only 5.8% of the world's population can successfully solve all faces of the Rubik's Cube. It takes time to get their head around this tricky toy, but with a technical perception, the process became much smoother for them. Each face defines which color will be assembled on its opposite face. That means if you successfully piece together all the white pieces on the right face, you'll already know which color belongs on the left face. Here are the rules. The blue face will always be opposite to the green face. The orange face will always be opposite the red face. The white face will always be opposite to the yellow face. These rules won't change no matter how much you shuffle the cube. Great! Are we all on the same page? If yes, you're ready to start solving this thing. If not, it's okay. These rules can be difficult to understand without real-time examples. Luckily, we know who can give them to you: a private Rubik's Cube coach from SuperProf. They can explain you each and every rule and technique with a proper demonstration so that you can solve this cube on your own. Join the colors with SuperProf today. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.